Hello guys, and welcome to an average presentation on how to beat the most annoying boss in the game, the Six-Eyed Calamity. So, first of all, you may be asking yourself, why should you try this boss? Obviously, it gives valuable rewards, like armor, and that's about it, yeah. Purple Suit goes crazy, which it really does. I mean, man, look at these crazy stats. It's the end of the storyline, which means you don't have to play the game anymore, which is great, at least for now. And because you will acquire consistent trauma. Anyways, let's go to the requirements to beat this boss. First, you have to be level 480, because you can only enter the boss fight with level 480. That's very important. Second, you need to have a decent attention span. For yours and others' sake, you need to have a decent reaction time if you want to be useful, because there are many mini games, I would say, that you need to be paying attention and react fastly. And trauma. Anyways, let's start talking about the boss's attacks. Now, we're going to talk about the big red death laser, which, as you may have guessed, is a big and red laser which usually leads to death. It lasts around 3 or 5 seconds, more than you in the boss fight. It deals a ton of damage, like a lot of damage. Now, how to defend yourself from this attack? First, you can shoot yourself with a suspiciously pure shard. It was really pure, probably Colombian indeed. And maybe if you don't have a suspiciously pure shard, you should dash towards them blue balls. But do that when he's about to attack. Now, let's talk about the Parriable blue ball. As you may have guessed, it's a big and blue ball which you can parry. If you parry it, you're going to do 1% of damage to the boss, which is a great amount. It's around like 6k, which is good. And your team will feel nothing because they expect that from you. But if you do not parry it, the ball will suck everything around it, dealing mid damage, and your team will hate you for the rest of the boss fight, as they expect a lot. Let's talk about the average blue ball. It is a blue ball with average size, which tracks you and sucks everything near it, dealing mid damage, to be honest. It's pretty simple how it works. Now, how should you defend yourself from the blue ball? Probably using a suspiciously pure shard, Colombian, of course, or running away to the blue balls. If you run away to the blue balls, you're going to bring the blue ball with you, making so that your teammates won't get hit, and that's great. Now let's talk about the jerker. The Calamity will suddenly try to give you a hand using the animation present in the photograph. It deals some damage and puts you on the ground for like 2 or 3 seconds, stunning you or slowing you. It can be parried. Please parry the arm, guys. Everyone expects you to parry it, or if you shield yourself, but parry it or shield yourself, don't just take it, because it deals good damage and it slows everyone because the arm goes around the map. If you parry it, you enter a domain clash. Yay! If you win the domain clash, the arm gets parried away and the Calamity takes about 1% of its health. If you lose the domain clash, you get knockback and AoE damage, as well as your team starting to hate you, slowly but surely. Now let's talk about the closet. The Calamity gets scared and hides away. So you need to break 2 shards which are in opposite sides of the map. They have plenty of HP, which means you will have to use some quantity of attacks, like 2 or 3 big damage dealing attacks. Now, reasons why you should break M shards. First, the game asks you to. It's an important reason indeed. Second, if you do not break the shards in time, the Calamity will finish its attack and deal global damage, which deals a negligible amount of damage, to be honest, and you get stunned for 2 or 3 seconds. If you're solo and the Calamity uses this attack, you may as well just ignore it, because if you don't have good movement attacks, you aren't reaching the 2 crystals in time. Now, let's talk about the scariest attack of the Calamity. Hollow Purple. It's a global attack that deals crazy damage over time. To defend yourself, you need to parry the massive black walls into the ground. Tips for this god-awful attack. Always go to the wall which is further left. Please do this. So, you will have a line of walls. Just go to the left. It's a kind of an unwritten rule, but you should go to the left. Use stat buffs like Cursed Reinforcement and Sukuna's Switch so you can tank it, because there are dumb people which will make you need to tank it. And leave and enter the walls range, because when you leave the walls range and stand in the open, you get 1 second of invulnerability. So if you leave and enter the wall's range, you can make it so that the wall takes a long time to break. Also, you should dash upwards to parry the walls faster. So you reach them faster and can parry them faster. Now, I have some problems with this attack, mainly because of the community. First, people not going left. It's simple. Go left. Everyone is left, you go left. Second, people standing in the middle of the line of walls. Like, bro, if you're not going left, at least do something that makes sense. Go right. Why are you in the middle of it? Third, people who run as fast as possible through the fire of walls. Man, they are scared of it. Like, they are scared of the hollow purple. I do not understand these guys. And it's a truly menacing attack for public raids. It's truly scary when you have like 6 people alive. Now, let's talk about the domain expansion of the Calamity. Attention span version Goldfish. The boss expands their domain, which is surely surprising. After using this attack, the boss heals to around 100k of its HP, which is way too much. So if you got the boss in 80k health, he will heal to around 120k of his HP or something like that. There are exclusive attacks to the domain, which is the Stalker attack and the Free My Boy special. Let's talk about them. The Free My Boy special. The boss unjustly detains you with 2 big walls, but the walls have like 1 HP, and I'm not even kidding. You hit them once and they fall over. Simple. Just run after breaking them, because the boss will throw a purple on where you should have been. Such violent person. It does crazy damage, 5k with good armor, so it deals a lot of damage, so you should be trying to avoid that at all costs. Now, let's talk about the Stalker. A blue eye will try making eye contact with you, which is surely scary. It will get so weird when you do in fact make eye contact that you freeze. This means that if you stare at the blue eye, you'll get stunned for like 3 or 5 seconds. This always happens in the worst timing. So there are some times when you get affected by the Stalker, the boss will use the Free My Boy special and you are guaranteed to lose. Good luck figuring out how you should be playing while looking away from the boss. It gets really hard when the blue eye spawns and the purple attack happens. It's terrible, it's terrible. You can't look up, but you need to look up to dash to the wall, so it gets complicated after some time. Now I'm going to talk about the mechanics. Yay, claps please. Thank you, thank you. So let's start talking about the penetrator. It's a big ass spear, really massive. You should be able to see it from afar. It can be activated with 4 charges, does crazy damage to the boss, like 15% of its health. So most of the damage you're going to do in the raid doesn't come from the players themselves, but from the spear. When it gets activated, it stuns the boss, which means you can jump it for as much as you want in the time frame you have. Tips. Use the command slash buff so you can squeeze a little bit more of damage. It is really helpful because it gives like 20% extra damage, so it's useful. And attack as soon as the boss starts to get pulled. So when the boss starts to get pulled, the hitbox appears, so you can already punch it. Now let's talk about the adapters. If you stand on top of the adapters, you will begin to charge them slowly, very slowly. You will receive quick time events while charging. You will receive quick time events while it's charging. So these quick time events are easy and always happen in the same time. So it's like 1/4 of the charge, half of the charge, and 3/4 of the charge. The quick time events will happen. They are easy, not like I portrayed here. If you miss them, you receive a knockback and AoE damage. And you can place the charges in the penetrators. That's their whole purpose. Also, when you are carrying the charge, if you take too much time to take them to the penetrators, it will explode. Things to notice. The person which is receiving the quick time events will receive the charge. So, yeah, if you're not receiving the quick time events, you might want to go to another adapter. More people on top of it does not make it charge faster. So don't stack a bunch of people on top of the charges. In most cases, at least. I'm going to talk about this better later. You cannot charge it while having a suspiciously pure crystal on your inventory. That's important. Don't stand on top of it alone. Call someone if you have a pure crystal on your inventory. Now let's talk about the suspiciously pure crystal, which is probably Columbium. There will be 2 of these spawning. They spawn if the person carrying it dies. Another one will spawn after some time. To acquire them, you just need to beat them up. What I mean by that is you pull over to them, give them a few. One punch is enough, the same as the walls. One punch will be enough to retrieve the shard. They have 2 main mechanics. The shield, which you can use it to protect yourself from attacks, and you can regain its charge from adapters. And we have the heal, which heals all of your team around 5k of HP, and you gain the heal charge by shooting people. The more people you shoot, the more heal charge you gain. So that's important. So some things to note at the end of the video. First, I'm talking about nightmare lobbies, so easy and medium lobbies shouldn't be much of a difficulty. I'm not experienced with hard lobbies, but I'm pretty sure they should be around the same difficulty as nightmare. A little bit easy, of course. I'm not a pro gamer. I'm not the best at the raid, but I can give tips because I have ended it quite a few times. About gear. The boss drops gear, which gives stat boosts that help you against it. For example, a Tyrion, which we have on the screen, gives 20% defense against the boss, I believe. Also, about builds and curse techniques. There are many YouTube videos talking about builds. I'm not really experienced with it. But about curse techniques, I believe the Demon Vessel, Curse Queen, Star Rage, and Infinity or Gamble Fever. Infinity is better. But these are the best ones because they have high DPS and you gain Black Flash fairly fastly. Okay, so I didn't talk about domains. The domain charge is distributed to everyone in the server, so everyone can expand the domain at the same time, I believe. There are little variations, which means may be off like 2% of the domain, but other people will have it, usually. When someone uses the domain expansion, the boss will throw their hands over the person. If you attack the hands of the boss, the domain clash between the boss and the person will become easier for the person, and you will be dealing damage to the boss, which is great. If the person wins the domain expansion, the boss will be chained to the ground for some time, which makes it vulnerable, and it lasts quite a long time. Also, I don't recommend you use the domain expansion right after using the second spear, because usually the boss expands their domain around the second spear. It will kind of interrupt the domain clash, or it may appear ineffective to other people, which it isn't, but you know how it is. Now that's about it. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, you can subscribe and like the video and comment if you have any questions about it. If you didn't like the video, okay, and thank you. Goodbye.